Morning, everybody. Welcome to an early morning Sunday quarterfinal game. We're here with at the 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup World Curling Tour event in Bern, Switzerland, the Swiss capital. Feature game this morning for this quarterfinal is Team Feltscher of Switzerland against Team Sinclair, Carla Howald, Franziska Kaufmann, Irene Shorey, and Binia Feltscher. For the Swiss team, Team Sinclair, Monica Walker, Vicky Piersinger, Alexander Carlson, and Jamie Sinclair. We have 4 games going on this morning, 4 quarterfinals. And later on today, we'll be showing you a semifinal game and, of course, the final later on this afternoon. Here's the playoff bracket. Quarterfinals, we see Feltscher Sinclair, and we have Sidorova from Russia against Kaiser from Switzerland, Muirhead against Wang, and Mozeva Christensen. So 2 U.S. teams, 2 Russian teams, Chinese, and 2 Swiss teams, and a Chinese team. And of course, 1 Scottish team. And here the Swiss team, Team Feltscher, Binia, Irene, Franziska, and Carl. And Jamie Sinclair on the left, Alexander Carlson, Vicky Piersinger, and Monica Walker. Minus 4.4, same temperatures as we had yesterday on the ice, and we're underway. My name is Armin Harder. I'm here with Richard Harding once again. Richard managed to get up this morning. It is early, isn't it? So early you got to turn on your mic.
It is early. Much curling to fit in today.
Lots of curling to fit in today, that's right. For 1 team or 2 teams, it'll be 3 games today. And here we see Carla Howald. Fairly new lead in the team. She took over for Christina Urich last season. And Feltscher, of course, 2-time world champion, European champion. So we're looking forward to a pretty good game. Both these teams in pretty good form, certainly this weekend. You see Vicky Piersinger. Just mix it. He gets it out. So early morning draw. Ice is different than it is in the afternoon, in the evenings. Yeah. Some of the teams will have to get used to very quickly in the morning. Their first end. We'll update you throughout the game here on what's happening on the other sheets. 32 teams started out, 5 world champions playing in this event, and a number of Olympic teams also. And we're down to the last 8. Started on Thursday evening. Lots of curling behind us. If you missed any of the games that we're covering, you can always go take a look at either the World Curling Tour YouTube site or the WCF World Curl TV YouTube site channel. Catch up on some of your favorite teams.
Easy. Oh. Clean. Up. 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 8-5.
And that hung around this time. So Feltscher came through this undefeated, qualifying directly into the quarterfinals already on Friday through the quarterfinals. beating Hansen, Fleming, Verano, and Sidorova on the way.
Tia! Tia! What?
Sinclair having to play 3 more games than Feltscher. They had a loss to Kaiser, who's also in the quarterfinals. A team that's ranked 213 on the order of merit, qualified. And then they beat Hamilton, Fleming, Hagner, Jackson. They lost to Muirhead and then beat Matsumura in the C final. Feltscher ranked 20th on the world ranking. And Sinclair ranked 15th. So these teams fairly close on the world ranking. So we're expecting a close game. And of course, we're having a fairly clean end here in the first, and we see Irene Shorey.
Fresh line? At least. Yeah, like it's fresh over here. So I'm throwing hack.
So of course with the clear house, able to test out different parts of the ice.
It's running a bit. Running. 13-1. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Good judge. A little straighter on that side. Yeah. Nice weight. A little straighter over there.
And we heard Sinclair going to school on that shot, discussing with their team. She feels that that side may be curling a little less than the other side.
So as so often, the opening end has a clear house.
Yeah.
Just swapping hits, and since Feltscher has the last stone here, I'm sure she'll hit and run with the last one to hold the advantage of the last stone into the next end. So the first stone of Binja Feltscher in this opening end of play.
Super.
No problem with that one.
Same thing.
So these teams have faced each other only twice in the last couple of years on the tour and internationally. Both 1-1, both won a game. Just in December at the Misabi Classic. Sinclair defeated Bing 8-6. So not a lot of history between these two teams.
Good.
I think they're pretty evenly matched, though. Certainly by indicating by the rankings, they're pretty close.
Yep, possibly, although Binya has been a world champion
Twice.
on 2 occasions. So she's pretty familiar with everything that goes on. More experienced.
Certainly in form this weekend. 4 games in a row.
But they do have a little history of being really good and maybe not quite so good at times.
That was very diplomatically put, Richard. Yeah, they do have sometimes
Or paid for diplomacy.
when they're bad. Sometimes they can be really bad. And I think that's just a mental thing. Obviously, they certainly have the skills, but they don't always put them together.
So with that peel of the shot out of the house, the last stone advantage does indeed remain with Feltscher into the second end, and we'll see whether we get a little bit of attack play here in end number 2.
And if you're wondering what the other results are, just go to worldcurl.com. Or any other events going on. There's mixed doubles events going on and a number of other things this weekend. And if you're wondering what all those other teams are doing out there, there's 8 sheets. There is a consolation round in this tournament, so there's still a number of teams playing in the consolation rounds.
13-3.
Yep, that event's going on the...
Just in case you didn't get enough games this weekend, you can...
Yeah.
Yeah, the main event's going on sheet 3, 4, 5 and 7 in the arena for the 4 quarter-final games. So 1 on each side of our feature game today. And 1 across the ice a bit. So in number 2, by putting the stone in the house, of course, it gets removed.
More but less add. But way more kick. 8.
And this one's also fully in the house.
It's trying.
Or more.
I know.
So 3 of the 5 former world champions managed to qualify. Alina Pats, probably the most significant one not qualifying into the quarterfinal, and she was the last year winner of this event. So she won't be able to defend her title. She's won that twice in the last 3 years. And of course the other one, Andrea Schupp, not qualifying.
What?
Yep.
Another open end, no guards in play. cobwebs out of your head from a night's sleep.
Top post is nice. 5.
So
13-1.
after the lead stones, if the game is in the house and there's only one stone around, I'm afraid we're in for another similar end to the last one, I think.
Well, Binia's certainly not playing any guards. She's just playing takeouts. So. Muirhead takes a 2 in the first end against Bing Yuang from China. Anna Sidorova playing against Kaiser, a young Swiss team.
Yep.
They're very happy to be in the quarterfinals. Sidorova takes 1 in the first there.
Easy. It's good. It's close. Easy. Oh! Look at that rotation. It's good. Like I'm loving it. 9. She had a nice rotation on that one and it ran way better. Yeah, it ran really nice. I got a 9 on it.
Good owl.
Franziska Kaufmann from Grindelwald, Switzerland. Up in the Bernese mountains.
Very nice too.
Yeah. Do you know the 3 mountains there?
Yes, the most famous being the Eiger.
Yes, very good.
What?
But I knew you knew that. Any other 2?
That's why I told you the most famous.
The other 2 are the Mönch and the Jungfrau.
Oh, the Jungfrau, of course.
That's it for my Swiss geography.
And you can approach the Eiger from...
Of course, the most important mountain is in Interlaken. The harder comb.
How high is it?
It's the highest. They call it a house mountain, which means it's the local city mountain.
All right.
It has a nice train that goes up, or nice restaurant, cafe up there. Named after my ancestors from long ago.
Yep, good to know there's something good about harder. Excellent. So this game still very open and nobody really making a move, but all stems from the US front end popping the stones into the house. If they left them short, we've been to something different, I think. But nope, not so far.
I suspect that the third end will be a little more active than this one.
Line's good. Starting to move.
We've had some really good games on this weekend. They've been entertaining. So if you missed any of them, they're all archived. All of our events are archived on the YouTube channel. Good teaching material on there too for coaches and young teams. Or some older teams that might need it. Irene Shorey. This team is spread out all over Switzerland, not necessarily focused in one club, being from Flims, which is another mountainous ski area in the eastern part of Switzerland, and Irene from the Zurich area. Carl is
Come on,
also
one
from
closer
the
to firm.
lowlands in Bern
Yeah,
here.
figured.
Binya, of course, from Flims.
That's right.
Yep. 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 All the way. Yep.
Swiss
Hard. Yep.
Championships will be in Flims
hard.
next month.
Yep. Go. 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 Hard. Hard. Go. 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 Go.
And the Flims curling club is a new-ish facility these days.
Yeah.
Ik vind het daar niet goed.
6
Not
sheets.
the newest, though.
Ja.
No. 6 sheets.
We've had a lot of new clubs open up in the last,
So,
or at least
what?
been completely renovated.
Ja, even, ja, ik zeggen 12 half.
That's a really nice one in Flims.
Flims.
It's
Ja.
one of the more expensive ones in Switzerland. Of course, it's attached to a,
The Flims Waldhaus Hotel.
yes,
Yes, very nice. If you're looking for some relaxation in the mountains,
Het is nog niet zo, nog
that
niet zo fijn, hè?
rather beautiful hotel fits the bill.
it's right in the WCF budget.
Ah, thank you. It fits the bill. Maybe it doesn't fit the bill. Expensive, but also fantastic.
Wonderful place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a coffee in there.
Dan nog curlen, dan nog curlen. Hekke brems. 12-6.
Well, that's through the back of the rings.
Ik ga niet te veel curlen.
Hey. I got a 12-7 on hers that was just through.
So
Grade 2, it's okay.
The Sinclair team
T-line's
spread out
okay
quite
too.
a bit too. Two of them from Fairbanks, Alaska. One from St. Paul, Minnesota, and the other one from Boston. Monica Walker from Boston. That's spread out even a little more than the Swiss team.
that's
Line's
about
good.
as far spread out as you can get in the USA.
Line's good. Just 9.
Especially Vicky Piersinger from Fairbanks.
No backing.
This one, Stone moving along rather quickly through the back, I think.
I won't even get the stopper. Well, I think we've tested all parts of this sheet now.
I think we have.
We can start playing now.
We're not, however, using any of it for some positive curling, I'm afraid.
What was the short on that?
So
I'm sure the third end will
Yeah, I figured.
have every rock in play.
Binya Feltscher then with her last stone, which she will throw through the back to retain the advantage of the last stone going into the third end.
Aftal.
World champion in
Dat is algemeen mening.
Swift Current and in New Brunswick.
Faster to that wing
Ja.
by at least half a second.
Get a long 2/10.
Yeah, 13.
I think 2/10 faster inside out.
Genau, wissen, was eigentlich mit dem Eis ist, dann wir lieber einfach noch aufpassen. Ja. Genau.
Ja, machen sie jetzt mehr, oder?
Nochmal gleich, hä? Ich glaube nicht. Aber mir auch nicht.
So we're set to start here.
Well, we've only got 6 ends left, so would be would be good to get a game going. So, commencing play in end number 3. US lead, Monica Walker will throw this stone up and hopefully short of the rings.
I don't mind if she goes in the house. It's Feltscher that's got the hammer. She's the one that should be trying for 2.
5.
Now, the question is, does Feltscher play a takeout here or throw up to corner guard? That's the question.
I'm 85.
Oh.
Yeah. I just didn't even look. I'm like, light.
Well, it's funny, I have a counter view. She doesn't have any incentive to bother any other than just hitting, which is nice and easy, and win the game 1-0.
Right.
It's the opposition that have to do something in my view, but they're never going to get anywhere if they just pop the stones in the house from the first shot.
I remember a World Championship game in, I think it was in Lausanne. It was Colleen Jones against Annette Norberg in the final. I think that went five blanks the first half of the game. Same sort of scenario.
9-8 or 8-9.
Well, a long time I remember
Didn't look like that much.
a World Junior Championship game involving the Swiss team of the time, and it was 0-0 after 10 ends.
Oh, that was before free guards on though.
It was, although this might as well be. And in the 11th end, they missed to lose 1-0.
Well, this is the danger here. Why not, try and make 2 when you get the hammer?
And for some reason, I was travelling back to the hotel on the Swiss team van, and there was a bit of friction going on there, to say the least. And in the next game, the lead was playing third, and the skip was the alternate, and the old skip was the lead, and oh my goodness me, it was full-scale change after that.
Well, Sinclair has the possibility for a force here, because we've had a mistake.
Easy. Yep. Hard. Hard.
Yep, chance now to lie 2, which they
We're mostly spread out too.
make, which is good.
Oh, darn. Okay.
So Franziska Kaufmann, second player for Binja Feltscher, going for the takeout. Definitely wants to stick around in the rings. Which she does, and in a different spot. Perhaps slightly testing.
Same
for
weight. This is out a little farther, maybe a little fresher, but it's where my draws started.
Or Persinger.
That's okay, staying in's good.
So she should be able to see the whole stone here.
Yeah.
9!
And she would quite like a roll away from that other US stone.
Yeah, came down a bunch.
I'll roll behind it.
Oh well, that'll do.
9-4.
Nicely done.
Ja, 8-3, Annika.
So as we can see just right in our picture, Binja Wang from China scored a 2 in the second, and that game's all tied up at 2 apiece against Muirhead from Scotland. Sidorova against a young Swiss team steals 3 in the second end.
What?
And we got Roger Schmidt this morning running between 2 sheets. Looking at Mozeva and
So they're
Sidorova
14
playing
was in
this
the
morning,
other
and they're
way.
not playing next to each other.
And Roger's the
Okay.
coach for these Russian teams.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, back house is fine. It's just got to be
Well, he
in.
was coach for Sidorova, but apparently he's now working with Moseva also. Moseva having a few weeks ago defeated Sidorova 4-1 in that Olympic qualifier.
That's lovely.
Well, that's unfortunate there for the U.S. team, coming up short on that.
Yeah, it was important to be in the house with that stone.
Irene's
Tia!
Shori gonna try and
Fast!
raise takeout on that
Fast!
red one.
Tia! Fast! Tia!
She's missed it. Yes.
Well,
Back 4.
quite a bit off target there. And ensuring it's a good chance now for the
Yeah,
US to
I
press
know.
home their advantage.
Taking a lot of ice.
That is a lot of ice to curl behind the.
Now, she doesn't need to
Corner
really
guard.
be buried behind that guard. She just needs to be
Yeah,
open.
curling already.
So she doesn't need to take a risk by going very
Well
close
done.
to that. But she does need to have the second shot in the house. This doesn't look very good either, Richard.
This looks pretty heavy.
It's got to come to a stop somewhere in the house.
Good.
Yeah, he's slowing down now.
Oh, okay. Not
Oof,
super
yeah.
slow there.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't believe him on my first one.
You didn't what?
And Irene will have a second opportunity at this. I'm sure she won't miss it twice.
Well, she's up the weight a little bit on this one.
Oh.
She almost missed it on the outside.
Okay.
Well, not a very good end there so far for the Swiss.
On this side, so that you can punch it.
And
If they roll.
Sinclair's starting to load up the house a bit.
I was pretty soft on that one, I thought. Like my release, so I think that was
But
good.
Feltscher does have last stone advantage here.
Oh, hi.
So right
It's
now,
looking right now,
Maybe we
she'll
don't
need
any
that.
more room.
yep, right now the US team line 2. Going for another draw shot in. Looks as though they're taking a line to
Alright. On center.
more or less be on the center of the house. Center line of the house anyway.
So between Moseva and Christensen, that's the other quarterfinal going on. After a blank in the first, Moseva was forced to take one in the second, so that scores 1-0 for Moseva now.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Room.
This is really taking a wide line on that.
Just even. Even so you can't roll into the side.
Not an easy double.
Zo doppel met rol, verzot.
Yeah, poor placement of the stone there by
Het is lekker, ik zei niet eigenlijk nee.
Jamie Sinclair.
Dat is oké, joh. Dat is ook
Got
goed.
the angled double on the back. I don't know if she'll be able to keep her shooter in play.
Snini. Nee, weer een te doppel.
She's going to try the double. Double on the back.
Ja. Goed.
Will her shooter stick around?
Oh! Oh! Achtung! Tia! 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 Tia!
Calling hard. Maybe just missed the sweep.
Yeah, I like those. That same 9 I've been calling.
Yeah,
I think that should be fine.
I think looks good. Looks good.
Well, if you just caught that a little bit wider, the shot stone would have moved a little bit off to the left as we look at it now.
Right on nose is good.
Made it difficult to remove. But as it is, it's a straightforward takeout. I think Jamie Sinclair will hope to roll towards the centre line here with her shooter, making it more difficult to draw the forefoot, or the straight takeout would be on against 3, I suppose. That's the other shot. If she hits and sticks.
Yep.
Even if she doesn't hit and stick, there's still
Yep.
pretty well much the
Right there,
force.
Yep. No roll.
She manages it. Well, maybe there's that doesn't need a triple. Benia needs to make one hit.
Just a straight hit on the nose
We müssen irgendwie da.
on that last stone of Sinclair's will do the trick.
Kannst du noch mal
Sure,
gleich
will it hit
probieren?
the nose hit end up being shot? I'm not sure.
Oder legen?
I don't think the nose. Well, yeah, it should be close enough.
Also meinst du Triple und da? Triple, ja.
I think so. I think it'll outcount the
Well,
others.
you want to hit it on the inside a bit and get a little
Ja,
action on the
ja.
inside. I don't think the nose hit may not be shot.
Und schon mal das 9. Nur weniger Eis.
Rock on the right may still be counting. I think she'll want the roll to the inside a little bit. But after a pretty sloppy end here from the Swiss, the Benia is forced to make one here to get out of this end against 3 U.S. counters.
Go! Tia! Go! Tia! 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 Fast!
Yeah.
Well, the one at the, I think the one at the back's the first shot.
Yeah, it looks red to me too.
It does. It looks like she's given up too.
Yeah. Needed to get the inside, or at least the nose, I think. But
I really don't know what they were sweeping for. But anyway,
well, sweeping on the curling side, Richard.
Interesting start.
yeah, not going to
Trying
make.
to get some action on that
Hammer,
rock
bang,
because it
bang.
wasn't curling enough. But with that, a steal of 1 for Sinclair.
I think it's 2. But we'll see in a moment.
I don't think it's 2, but I think that other one was just in the 12-foot. We'll see in about a second here. Oh, it was 2, you're right. Excuse me.
Yeah, so that was a poor shot from Benia Feltscher, giving up a 2 against
Well,
the
it wasn't,
run.
Yeah, it wasn't just Benia. It started with the lead, went right through the team. Irene didn't make any of her shots.
I think it's close.
No, but it was a straightforward shot to recover from it all.
That's true.
So I'm afraid all blame to Benia from my side,
I'll go to the skip.
even though what went before was horrible.
Well, I
She wasn't punished for what went before.
Well, she was punished. She was punished for not trying to make 2,
Well,
playing
yes,
playing a tactically good end.
but she still had a very straightforward
Now
hit.
she's forced to play a guard, and now we'll see some rocks in play.
Yep.
So Carl Howald will now play the corner guard.
What? Gerne genug?
If you're going to get into a takeout game, that better be your strength. And I don't think that's Feltscher's strength. Her strength is the draws and the finesse shots. Don't take a knife to a gunfight.
No.
2. Hair tight. Mine's fine.
Vic! Hard, Vic!
1.5, 2.
Hard, Vic! 1! Hard over! You're good.
Oh, 4.
Well, definitely wanted to be a little closer to the house than that.
Yeah. Just definitely not positive.
Yeah, they're not zeroed in on the draw weight yet, both teams.
Das war 13,5 gewesen, ja. Etwa 13.
Carl now being asked to go around that center guard, freeze to the top of that rock in the forefoot.
What? Zieh! 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 Hänge 12! Zieh! Richtig fest! Ist kürzer, ha? Ist kürzer, gell? Oh, dann nehmen wir da vorne. Hänge 12, hänge 4. Ah. Okay.
Well, curling past
Wow,
the stone
that's nuts.
on
Through
the
the
button.
hole to the wing.
Not just going quite to plan at the moment for
Yeah, I think
the
you gotta-
Feltscher team.
If you stay in the wing, it's okay. Just not.
Of course, they've had a relatively straightforward run through to here. 4 straight wins on the A road.
Yeah. You got it.
And while the opposition were scrapping the
They
B
have
road.
3 more games,
And yes, exactly.
Easy.
So they're well.
6 more hours of curling under their belt.
Really up.
Yep. Good.
Sometimes that day off doesn't help you though. So yesterday Bina wasn't on the ice at all.
To get over there.
Does
That's
sometimes
first
break
shot.
the rhythm.
I think that was the
Sinclair
first.
was on the
Yeah.
ice all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look a bit sluggish this morning.
Certainly looking that way. Yeah.
So Irene Shuri,
That's the nature of the
Hey,
beast though. Eh? You're gonna
Jessica Kaufman.
Ist
Yes.
Bein! Bis Heck! Oh!
Just trying this
Tief! Oh!
draw around the guard. And this one's moving pretty quickly.
Carla!
remove that out the back.
Gut so! Schön!
Another steal of one for Sidorova.
Yeah.
That team she's playing in was a bit of a surprise qualifier. Obviously ranked 213th or something on the world ranking. Very young team. Have a very good coach though, Stefan Kaiser, who's coach of the 1998 Nagano Olympic gold medalist team from Switzerland. Got some coaching credentials.
Just a little tight.
Yeah.
Hair tight, but
I thought there was pretty tight
should
ice.
have given her more.
So
Yeah,
hit and
so
roll
that's
there,
what I thought
right
would
out to the
make-
wing.
It would make up the
But,
difference.
Feltscher ignoring that.
Okay,
So
vorne
the second
12!
stone of Franziska
Zieh!
Kaufmann here.
Zieh richtig!
The draw behind this corner guard.
Hänge 4! Carla fest! Er ist eher
Trying to set up
Okay.
a 2-point end.
Jetzt ist die richtige Recht. Er ist immer noch hängen nach. Ja, gut gesehen.
This one needs to stop as well.
Okay.
Boy.
Well, struggling at the moment.
I mean, we
So
feel
it's a
they
team-
still have our center guard and our back one to freeze to. I like the draw. We play this too, though, because if I hang out, I mean, can hang out either side.
That guard really not a great guard. With a curl like this, that guard's far too long.
A little bit.
Good.
Oh, it's a good weight, this one. Just needs to get in behind the guard, but I think it's still going to be pretty visible for Feltscher to deal with.
And didn't set up a double, so that was the main thing. Feltscher could get to the inside of this. A little roll behind the guard.
So Irene Shorey, third for Brynja Feltscher. To sweep pretty hard to get past the guard and failing. Well, not making too many shots at the moment.
You end up across the center line at edge of 12 going.
No, I wouldn't want to look at these statistics.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
Mozeva steals one in the third end
Yeah.
against Christensen.
Tap
Take a
it.
2-0 lead after 3 ends of play.
That'll still get my shooter in. Draw around, but if I do tap it, it's okay. Yeah, because it curls a little more here.
Bernese, Feltscher, and Elena Patz.
More ad.
And the rest of the Swiss teams will
Line's
be
good.
playing the Swiss Championships in a couple of weeks in Flims, in Bernese home club, to see who goes to the Worlds in North Bay. Tyrion Sony, being qualified for the Olympics, will obviously not be able to be taking part in that.
Yep, Annie, yep.
Same for the men's side,
Yeah, that side works so much better.
with De Cruz qualifying at the Olympics. We'll probably see a different Swiss team at the Worlds in Las Vegas. I think it's time for Irene to make a shot here.
Well, I think she's only going to get the front stone.
Might get the back one. No, should have let it over curl. I might have got the back one. Oh. A little biter on the outside.
Will be only third shot though.
Yeah, and I'd rather cover center line. I'll let you out.
Muirhead takes 2 in the third to take a 4-2 lead over Wang.
So nice and tight.
China.
Just straight guarding it. If I slip into a biter,
2
that's
former
okay.
world champions going at each other there.
Okay. Sounds good.
So an opportunity here for Jamie Sinclair to press home the advantage. She has a stone lying fully in the 4-foot circle, and she could
Line's close.
Line's good.
place a guard in front of it.
Bit of room.
Vicky, if any.
Bit of room.
Tough for Brynja Feltscher to
good.
get to.
Line's good. Just this side of center.
Come on.
Looks like a nice guard
Yep.
coming off.
Nice shot.
Well, not bad.
Well, considering Feltscher's got the hammer and wants to make 2, not in a very good position here.
Und das andere wäre da irgendein legen, aber... Noch weiter, wenn wir nicht... Also einfach dort picken. Gell? Ich will
She'll
glaube
be
auch, oder?
scrambling again to
Wenn probieren auf den Doppel
make
gehen.
1.
Ich will probieren den Doppel gehen, oder nicht? Ja, dann musst du einfach mit dem Tempo spielen, wenn er fest trifft, geht er oben drüber, oder? Ja. Das ist schon wieder wahr. Scheint er sicher liegen bleiben? Nein, ich glaube, das bringen wir den nicht mehr. Also der jetzt raus nicht mehr. Ja gut, ich meine, wenn du rausrollst, musst du ihn fast angreifen, oder? Ja. Das ist vielleicht nachher noch die Chance. Wie viel siehst du noch?
Careful to jam on the back there too.
Also, probieren wir den Weg mit dem Sani.
I'm not even sure if they're looking at that.
Genau. Ja. Aha. Finde ich gut. Super.
They want to hit this and keep their shooter in play somehow.
Rausweichen oder auf der Doppel? Normal. Rausweichen oder auf der Doppel?
I think if she hits it, she says she hits it too thin, she might have the double. Be a little concerned about the jam at the back. Called that right away. And they certainly don't want to hit the guard. She gets neither one of those.
This looks tight.
It does.
They can come the
So
other
Sinclair's
way.
still sitting shot, able to put a
Yeah.
second one
Yeah.
in behind that guard.
Second,
So she wants to go for the same shot again, but a little bit better than the last one.
I
Further.
thought I was pretty positive and
Well.
ended up like here.
The last one, of course, was the guard,
Yeah.
but she wants to get right round behind here and into the 4-foot circle, 1-foot circle if possible. Make it really tough for Feltscher.
She's not playing the in turn because of that yellow guard up front,
Or
maybe.
like back four is good. I don't want to give her that same double twice, you know?
Top 4-foot here would be ideal.
Yeah, I'm okay with back eight.
We can see that yellow guard way up front. That's kind of bothering her for playing the in turn. Otherwise, normally you play the in turn on this shot.
I think it's
Line's
there.
good.
Line's good.
She did say it wasn't a problem if it finished in the back 8, but I think it is, because Feltscher can just draw right to it. Anyway, this one is wide and heavy.
Yeah,
Trying.
that's,
Good, Vic!
might even
Making
sail
it
through.
go in.
That's coming down now.
Yep. Back here. Right here. Right here.
Well,
Really nice. Nice job, guys.
Well, I really don't know why you would call that. Why wouldn't you want to be in the front 4,
Yeah, but I thought that corner would
blocking the way in?
be so.
Now it's a relatively simple shot just to follow that down and take 1 point. I mean, there's a big chance, Armin, here to really secure your lead, 2-0 lead with
well, yeah.
a probable steal of another one.
Swiss are not playing well right now.
Oh, terrible.
And they wasted the first 2 ends, not doing anything. So
So if you place that last stone, US stone, on the top of the 4-foot circle, you're really testing Feltscher out. Now it's simple.
well, not so simple. Not sure. Feltscher hasn't played too many draws here.
Hold tight! Hold tight!
But this is usually one of her shots. She does this quite well. It's got to come down. Or curl. Yeah.
Well, with that simple draw, it will be a single point for Binja Feltscher, forced into taking the single in the 4th end, narrowing the score to 2-1
Alles gut, ja.
in favour of Jamie Sinclair and her US team at the halfway point in this game.
Case of I had the opponent right where they wanted us.
Depends where their center is, but we've thrown to that side.
So 2-1 in this quarter-final game, the 50th International Bernese Ladies Cup. If you're just joining us in Europe, getting up in the morning, so it's early Sunday morning, I'm Richard Harding. And Armin Harder is also sitting here commentating on this game between Binja Feltscher and Jamie Sinclair from the United States. And this is the first shot in the fifth end. That's what you call a long guard.
Hi. Is that over?
Yes, but not by much.
Yeah, it's precision on the Swiss team is certainly not worth talking about this morning. Swiss precision.
2, 3. At a 10.
Gut. Ga nog eerst fest. Dat is goed, kunnen we alleen. Neem maar nog naar, neem maar naar hinten. Sehr schön. Ja, tipptopp.
So just coming up short with that stone. So not making too many shots at all, any of the Swiss players.
Line's good. 4, 5.
Well, I like the short guard though.
5, 6. Line's good.
That's the first one that was rather
Bit
useless.
of room. Bit of room. Finish is late. 6, 7. Whoa. Coming down. Just 6. 5 is good. Alex. Yep. Yep. Good. 7.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, no sooner had you finally made a rock and plague the opponent. Nails a good one.
Fine.
Monica Walker
Well, when you have to cross
going
all
nicely
the way
behind
over,
to the top of
when
the
I
button.
cross to your side, it's easier.
So Franziska Kaufmann to follow that.
Richtig ist gut. Hängen 4. Sia. Ho. Hängen 4. Ho. Hängen 4, hängen 8. Scarla.
Well, nicely played.
Ja, sehr schön. Tipptopp.
Just taps the US counter off to the back of the forefoot and also visible.
Yeah, I think control's good.
And
Yeah.
Swiss counter that's just been played can also be
Hey,
seen
you
from
have to
the
take
other
one
end
small piece.
without
Yeah,
too much
I think you got this.
complication.
Yep.
Chance here to hit and roll off that behind the guard to lie 2 in the forefoot for Vicky Persinger.
Easy. Yep. Yep. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, great shot. Perfect finish. So the hit and roll in behind the guard from Persinger.
Wie Länge? Super gesehen. Ja, 50 gehabt.
Well, you can see half the stone from the other side now. And Feltscher's coming after it with a controlled weight tap.
Well, yeah, this will look like certainly a draw or a tap. Heavy drop. Down on top of that 4-foot shot. But this is looking very wide. and heavy.
Fresh, Carla.
Starting to make its move.
Well, good shot.
Sehr schön.
Doesn't lie first shot, but it's certainly
Needed to curl a
in a
little
good position.
more.
Go? No, I mean,
Well,
I like that.
indicated
We're
to
hitting one too.
take that guard away, but it's behind the other guard, and I don't see any gain to be had by that with this shot. Especially when you can see the yellow stone to tap the inside of it. Move it to the back, past these two reds.
Yep! 11-5. Yep! Hard! Hard!
Well, once the stone starts curling, it really curls.
Hard roll! Go, go, go! Not bad. Right about a 12. I missed it. It was close.
Ja, is
Made
goed.
there easy.
Zielijn, oder Wender? Is goed, ja? No.
So Feltscher now asking Irene Shorey to curl round behind on the in-turn and to let them lie two in front of the two US counters. Both of them in the back 4-foot circle, the two red stones.
Richting is goed. Zijn langer aus. Fischer.
This one looking good.
Goed zo.
I mean, straight draw is okay too. Yeah, just a little bump.
So good
I don't mind a
shot
touch
there
less.
from Irene Shorey.
Yeah, that guard's just so high that we're gonna be by it. Yeah, like a 80. That's a lot. Yeah, it is. Easy, easy.
So Carlson then, her
Oh, easy. Oh,
first stone here
easy.
in the fifth end.
Monica.
Needs to curl.
Straight, 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 straight.
Well, just a little bit wide there. The Swiss stone will remain first shot.
Ja, und ich finde den Stoß. Genau, ja, ich fand auch vorne 4 besser. Ja. Auch wenn es knapp wäre.
Ja,
Ja.
ja, oh, vorne 8 ist okay.
Ja.
Also weißt
Aber auch bis da ist er okay.
so.
Nochmal, hè? Aber es hat wirklich einfach nicht overtime sein. Mir denkt es nicht. Es ist einfach 13,5 rein und etwa 13,8 wäre gut. Ja?
So the second shot of Irene Shorey here in number 5.
Ja. Wow.
Just trying to follow the very same line as the first one and lie right on the button.
Yeah, get a freeze right to the face of her own would be ideal.
14,6. Fest, kommen, ist gut.
Got to work it.
Zia, bis zum
She got
Dolly.
enough weight. Good looking line anyway.
Great line.
And great. It's not second shot.
No, it's not.
Just.
Just. But it's in a good spot.
Super, Sophie. Good job.
Yeah, we're never getting anything in there though.
Sinclair's dug herself a bit of a hole here.
I think there's a chance to come through between the two reds and
Double those out.
yeah.
I mean, that's what comes to my mind, but I
That
kind of like I
gives
have to get to the inside
Feltscher
of
another
it,
draw to the.
right? I mean,
That's about the only shot she's got, Richard.
straight
That
nut
double.
it. Like,
you're not going to nut here as well. You're either going to pick this or pick this.
If she came down on the other hand, it would. She would.
She could double out the other way too.
She could double out the other way, which might be easier.
That guard's not really a factor. It's a bit of an irritant visually, but it's so far out there. You got lots of room to curl past it. That might be the better shot, actually. Maybe a little tougher, but
This is tolerance.
Certainly
dislodges that one in the back of the forefoot. I think that little guard is so long out there, you could easily get at that.
Just firm. Calls a little high side.
It's the one just over the hog line as we look from that view. That's right in line with the front yellow stone of Feltscher.
This double's blocked by that red guard anyways. This is definitely the better shot, I think. In turn. Well, that's not what they're doing. They're playing that raised takeout on the red, I think.
Yeah, that might be the best shot, actually.
Gotta open it up too. It's looking pretty good. Oh, unlucky.
Well,
Really not good.
Die andere Seite ist, glaube ich, recht safe.
So another shot at this.
Auch wenn wir vorne liegen, ist okay. Also weißt du, mein klar ist schön, wenn die rechts
And the Yellowstone locked on the
dann erst mit dem zweiten,
back red to leave. The Swiss still lying for shot.
Well, Sidorova,
Gell? Ich finde auch.
short work of that very young Swiss team. 7-0.
Was macht das
Game
hier, wenn
over.
wir nachher da
It's a bit of the nerves, maybe. First time in a quarterfinal of such a big event. And then against Sidorova.
Ich glaube, sie müssen da irgendwie drüber.
So Sidorova through the semifinals.
Für mich ist gut vorne.
Wang takes a big 4 in the fourth end against Muirhead to take a 6-4 lead.
Ja. Findest du nicht? Ja.
And Moseva steals another one in the fourth end to now have a 3-0 lead
Ich
over
glaube, da kommst du nicht
Christensen.
her. Habe ich das Gefühl. Also ich
So
glaube,
it looks like in the other qualifiers
oder rein. Aber ich glaube, da kommst du nicht her.
or quarterfinals.
Oder?
Excuse me.
Ich glaube, wir müssen ihn einfach möglichst am Eis vorbeibringen und nachher holen. Genau. Oder?
Und wenn er halt länger ist, ist er auch da.
Ist er halt dort auch gut, ja. Ja? Gut. Wie viel?
Ja, also bis mit Carol habe ich dort eingegeben für die Garde. Und dann sicher da.
Ja.
Ich glaube, es wäre noch, eigentlich noch mehr.
So a lot of discussion here as to what to do.
Gut, so für dich.
Finally, decision is made.
Gib mir noch ein bisschen mehr. Ja, die Idee wäre so 12 Fuß.
They don't seem to have looked at the tap on the shot that lies second shot. The red US counter on the back right of the 4-foot circle as we look at that. She'd move that away, then she'd be lying 3.
Well, I think she's got to take this this draw away to the button from Sinclair first. If she goes for that tap on that red one, she leaves that other one open for Sinclair. So get this one in there first.
Richtig ist gut. Und Tja.
Steal 1 or 2.
Furious sweeping to bring the stone in.
This is really bending. Wow. Just way too late.
It does block the line in though.
Does take that away, yeah.
Which was the main objective and all of that.
Angst habe ich gedacht, das langsam ein bisschen bouncen.
Yeah, and you're sure you're not catching anything else, so. Okay, what turn? Probably that same one I just threw. Yeah. Said, and I'd rather clip. I think right in the middle. I think the inside? No, probably
She looking at
probably
coming
the
through
outside.
that port.
I think right in the middle though. Yeah. Maybe a hair to the left.
There's room there. throw pretty straight.
I don't think it's going to work because if you get through, you're going to hit the front red stone
Easy peel.
on the top of the 8-foot circle.
She's throwing peel weight.
Yeah.
Keep it straight.
Open it up. That's not
perhaps.
too bad.
She get through that porch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
all right.
Tolerance would be yellow first. Yeah.
Yep, from that view, that would seem to be the case.
But
They
she's
just
got to
hit
get
her
through the
more.
port. So tricky shot here for Sinclair. Gonna throw some heat at it.
So Jamie Sinclair, her first stone here in the 6th end. She and her team lead 2-1. Is she through the
Close.
port?
Oh,
She is.
Yes, wonderful shot. Oh, roll. But she shot. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, Feltscher remains lying. Oh no, she's got
No.
first shot in the back of the
Sinclair's
foot.
got shot
Back
back
and
before.
forth.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a nice shot, though.
Yeah, good stone.
Yeah. Definitely direction to throw it. 'Cause it-
Thought she was
I
going
don't
to
think it
roll
was
up
there.
top that yellow one.
Oh, yeah, and it feels so
She
much
shifts
better.
both of these yellow counters. Leaves her own one lying first shot.
Handy.
Auch
Yes.
gut, wir sollten einfach nicht. Wie sollten wir
Extremely
nicht?
good result.
Feltscher can now come down and bump that red one, though.
She can.
And sit two. This was the shot you wanted to play with the previous one, or it indicated
Also weißt du,
As
wir
an
haben beim
option,
Legen-
yeah.
as an option.
Ja, ja.
Don't know if it was the preferred option. Turns out it's still here though, that shot. Nothing's changed in that
Ja,
regard.
She can't draw down to the face of that.
immer so.
Also.
Also gut, wenn wir dann halt noch eine Nase haben.
Why?
Aber ja. Irgendwas
There's
setzen
nothing
wir
in the
schon,
way
ja.
there. She could draw right down to the face of it.
Probieren wir den Doppel.
Or she could tap it.
Yeah, it's just
Tap it back and lie to.
back 4-foot weight and lie two.
Ja.
Don't know why she wants to
Wenn du
bounce
da
off.
einfach splittst
Try
und
this one.
durchrollst, sie muss dann da immer noch zuerst 2 machen, oder?
It doesn't gain her anything because the red stone on the top 8-foot will still outcount
Nur
her.
reinrollen,
That's right.
ja, für mich
Her
ist
backstone.
auch nur reinrollen.
Sure. Yeah.
Du hast echt ein paar Tage gespielt, darum würde ich sie weiterhin von außen. Und vor allem von innen.
Ich spiele sie von außen, probieren wir nur.
Probieren
Not
wir
even
den
looking at the shot that we're talking about.
Genau.
No.
Ja.
And that rock is 2/3 exposed.
Sani?
Ah,
Ja, ich hätte vielleicht eher als 9
well,
gespielt, aber für
there's
mich
the
ist gut,
long,
Sani
long
mit
guard,
10
of course.
That's off the.
Gut. Ist gut? Okay.
That's even closer to the center line. That
It's
long
cer-
guard.
it's
There's
certainly not any-
There's no factor there.
No, none. You could come to that easily and tap it back.
Absolutely.
How strange.
Now she's going to come in on the wrong angle. She might just run over top of it and not hit anything.
Very strange. So Binya Feltscher then going for this double takeout or hit and roll, one or the other.
Fish, kom het! Oh, fish, oh.
It worked out for her, but
Sorry,
she's still leaving.
Excuse.
I guess so. Around this way. You can use that one. You can't
Not
bounce
sure
it.
who lies second shot.
I don't see much else.
Yeah, having a close look.
And if, you
If
clip
she draws
this,
down to
it's not
her own red one now, she's
making
going to
any
be
difference.
shot.
They're already sitting. Yeah, because edge is getting center. Okay.
So it does look
They're
as
only
if it
shot
might
one right
be
now.
2 yellows.
I'm not so sure, Richard.
Yeah,
I think that
solidly
red
four.
might. It's close though.
It's very close.
Tolerance is probably tight and light. I just don't want to.
So she's going to draw down to the red one now.
Because that's the second shot.
That should.
Yeah, so about the same weight. Okay. It runs for a little bit, so take your time.
If she can get to the face of her own, I think she might be shot with that.
Line's good.
Last rock here in the
Line's good.
fifth end.
Line's good. Right to
Sinclair trying to make
Save
one
it, Dean.
here against one or two Swiss shots. Is it coming up
Don't
short?
kill yourselves. It's not making it. One.
It's unfortunate. I would like to have seen that come in. One for sure.
It was tight in the line there and light.
Yeah, I thought I
Now screen it over.
threw enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna
One,
measure it.
yeah, and the measure for whether it's second shot or
Yeah,
not.
probably
Oh, dat is
7, 8 inches less.
And actually, this is the first measure I've seen throughout the whole weekend.
klaarder ook. Dat is
We're certainly on the coverage sheets that we've been doing. Yeah.
mooi weer. Also, dat is ook deze zo ongenauwd.
So they'll have to find a measuring device first. There it
Yep.
comes. Irene. Players will do this themselves here. So you want to get it so it's hitting the rock. And move the dial. We don't know. Oh, yeah, it's red. So, steal of one for Feltscher. And that'll tie the game after 5 ends of play at 2 apiece.
Yep, and
Us by a mile.
I think the
But halfway around it didn't touch theirs.
Americans have only themselves to blame for not being further ahead, because Feltscher and her team were really quite poor over the first 4 ends. A little bit better there. And now the score 2-2. In all truth, the Sinclair team should have been ahead. But they're not. It's the nature of things. 3 ends remaining. And Jamie Sinclair's tied now at 2-2.
Taking the hammer into the all-important 6th end, so that's advantage for the American team. So Sidorova's qualified for the semifinal.
Richting is goed. 14-9. Sehr schön. Gut gewesen.
Super. Probieren wir nochmal gleich, oder?
Ja, mit einer Karte. Also, ja.
That looks nice.
Line's good.
I like it. Got a 95.
8, 9. Gotta go.
But it runs pretty good.
Hard outs.
That was a better guard from
It's really curling, Alex.
Walt. Closer to the house.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Sinclair
Oh my god, we're running out of rings too.
playing right into that house.
Achtig.
Tia! Tia! Oh! 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 Tia! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Well, nice hit and roll.
Tia!
Is it going to roll right behind the guard,
Pleasure.
albeit
What?
behind the tee line as well?
Nice roll, yeah.
Line's good. Easy. Where? Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Oh. Shoot. Sorry.
Ooh, over curled, over swept. Yellow shot still.
Ja. Die
Worst
goed.
thing, it's behind the
Voilà,
tee line,
de
and that'll
volgende
allow
keer.
Feltscher to draw one
En
on
mega
top
veel
of that,
keulen om Schluss, hè.
or at least attempt to draw one on top of
En
that.
3 aan hier gaat, Entschuldigung.
Well, you can just see by how much curl there is. It didn't pass. It passed the front guard by a little bit, and it's come right out the other side.
Yeah, that's why that long guard that was out there earlier in the last end wasn't even a factor.
Tia! Kom, hier is goed. Lang is goed. Tia, richtig. Best, richtig, vroeg eruit. Best.
This looking a little bit short, maybe.
Abid, graag inderdaad. Tia. Best.
Wat?
Yep.
Sinclair just going to open this up. She's got the hammer. Vicky Piersinger.
Big.
Os.
Just missed the top one.
Level daar.
Oké.
Muirhead ties it up in the fifth with a 2.
Daar.
Lots of scoring going on in that sheet. Richard, all tied up, 6 apiece.
Yep, swapping 2s and a 4.
Yeah,
No blank ends there.
nope.
Perhaps we selected the wrong game.
Yeah, well, that's just the way it is.
Lekker.
Terug.
Cannot predict these things.
Verder.
Anyway, this one's livened up a bit now.
Yeah. Again, short
Okay.
and not in a very good spot. That'll give Sinclair a chance to double those 2 guards out.
Are they frozen? No, there's like this.
Just make sure she doesn't drive it back onto
Yeah, you
her
can
own.
still be off center. I don't
Well, I
hate
don't
it.
think she can
I
do
mean, you
that.
still do just a hair high. Roll it to a corner is fine. Try and roll both of them that way. You got it.
So clearing the front out. That's the
Yeah.
aim of Vicky Persinger here.
Hard. Hard.
Move them both and roll your shooter. Well, they're both gone, but the shooter isn't.
Didn't get any action off the shooter.
Jag står här tuning alltså. They're one, right? Yeah.
Ja,
They
det
are.
är inte så.
Yes, I got that.
Wirf's nicht so. Ist lieber so. Ja, ich weiß nicht. Ja, wenn wir da draußen bleiben, ist da besser. Da ist nachher nicht ideal, aber wir können schon so. Ist lieber so. Ich will glaub nicht. Mir ist gleich, also ich bin flexibel. Achtung, richtig. Achtung. Ist er? Richtig ist gut. Ja. Zieh. Ja, richtig. Richtig ist gut.
Well, this one isn't.
Oh, wechseln.
Is certainly not heavy. Just wants to come round the stone and lie in the front, straddling the centre line, which is good to do very nicely.
Yeah, yellow shot at the back, so
It's a good shot there.
though it's not in a great shot position.
Board. Board.
With the ice swinging as much, you can still come round on the
Versus tolerance.
Easily.
player's in turn and tap that yellow one back
Yeah.
if you need to.
That's right.
Yep! Yep! Yes! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Trying to take out that yellow.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Oh, she just gets past the red. Oh, almost got the back one. That would have been a great shot. Just missed it.
Ja. Ja.
Get a little
ja.
trickier there for Feltscher. Now it's all red up front. Irene Shorey.
Oh, oh. Oh. Tia. Oh. Tia. Tia.
To get to the inside of this. And she did. A little too much to the inside.
Ah, goed, sorry.
A little bit, but it prevents the draw to the back yellow stone.
Excuseer.
It does.
It's now in the way of
At
that.
least from the turn side.
Yep.
It's
The
just
outturn,
doing that sucks.
the
because it's all
outturn
behind
tap
the
is
tee.
easy.
Yeah.
Problem is you're still behind the tee line.
Setting that guard and rolling.
I would just put one in front of it, maybe. You don't want to go tap that. Just and give Feltscher a freeze. Feltscher's trying to steal here. You're trying to make two.
Yeah.
Let her throw the hit.
That was my Because plan B. if I draw and I'm not great, like
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's.
that doesn't help
And
either.
if you're to it, that's not very good either.
Yeah, because there's a whole rock behind tee line.
Exactly.
You could try to like over curl it. Even then. they'll
Even
just-
then, they just shoot. They just draw there.
Hair high side.
Yeah.
This is your second.
Yeah, it's my second.
Just I think still feel though.
Okay. Just a hair high side. Try and roll our shooter somewhere. Hopefully pretty far, but
So
I don't mind peeling this guard. Just get
Yep.
the hammer.
Oh!
She gets it, really gets it in the right angle. She might be able to take those two yellow. No, she only gets the one. Still leaves her guard out there. She wanted to hit that off the center a little to
good
the
sweep.
left.
Sorry, just a little tight.
Drive it across.
Good sweeping.
Ik hing het eraan eigenlijk. Zo wie ik met haar eigenlijk goed dan.
Het probleem is ook, ik weet niet of ze haar doen zijn hoor.
Ja, ja. Er zit, ja, er zit einfach gerade irgendwie so.
and you can see the ice temperature's risen a couple of points of a degree. Minus 4.4 to minus 4.2.
In Celsius, obviously. late.
Das Problem, wenn wir nochmal so in die Rennen spielen und ja, und dann macht sie nochmal.
So I had a
Yeah, if you're in North America, then that's around 24 point something to 25
be a little too cold.
Fahrenheit.
That would be too cold, I think.
Eben, darum war ja vorher schon die Idee von dieser Seite.
Ich bin
About
einfach da
24.7, I think,
mega
roughly.
Oh,
Ich find's-
really?
ich find's
I could look that up,
schwierig,
but I
denen zu
don't
spielen.
really want
Aber,
to.
und da ist wenigstens
Can work
immerhin
it out.
noch, also sie muss zuerst noch etwas machen.
So much discussion here. The game locked at 2-2.
Die einfach hinten dran
This
wären
is the
super, oder?
sixth
Der
end.
Wald im Haus und offen ist, finde ich eben nicht gut.
Last stone held by
Aber da bringen wir schon da bis
US
hinten
team
dran.
Jamie
Hast du
Sinclair.
nicht auch das Gefühl?
Mal, geht
Also,
das schon.
du darfst gerne von der anderen Seite
Nein,
spielen,
On
aber
to the
das ist
skip
Geht
stone.
das schon.
so, gehört so viel dort hin.
Geht das schon.
Weißt du,
das
wie viel
ist
das Nieren gehabt hast?
Ähm,
Ich glaube 14,3 hat Franzi gesagt.
ich weiß es nicht mehr.
Sag schon schnell.
Kann sein, ja, ich weiß es nicht mehr.
14,3!
Just talking about the draw weight.
Ja. Also meine Enkel ist ja auch da.
Oseva is stealing over there like crazy.
Kannst du ein bisschen weniger Eis geben?
Fourth end in a row, stealing one against Christensen.
Echt ein bisschen weniger Eis?
Score is 4-0.
Bitte, magst du rein? Die Line ist etwa 14, ha?
We already have one Russian team in the semifinals.
Hey, wo ist er?
Sehr
Tia! 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 Oh!
So vigorous sweeping there.
Wie lang? Jetzt hier, jetzt hier. Hier!
Coming down to
hier,
her own.
hier,
They're
hier.
going to punch that back. It is no longer shot or second shot.
It is not.
Zu lang, 13,5, okay. Sorry.
Could almost double those out. Freeze to it.
I'm just gonna throw like T back forward.
I think that's the shot.
Line's real good, sweet foot tap, but the freeze is okay.
Freeze is fine, yeah. Take it out with your last.
Same weight.
So 3 stones now remain here
Right to it.
in the sixth end. This is the first of Jamie Sinclair's 2.
Line's nice. Easy. Easy. Gotta move. Gotta move. Hold on. Close. Line. Whoa. Big. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Nope, it's good on its own. It's got to curl a little bit more, but.
Well, it needs to curl a bit
Yep.
more. Yep. Shot's made.
It's all right.
Also,
Nice weight call, guys.
viel mit der Nase könnte da drüber gehen. Er muss sicher an dem vorbei, oder?
Meinst du mit Aussengängen nicht drüber?
Ich bin
gut,
leicht
vielleicht
aussen mit der
Scheidennase.
Nase.
Also wenn wir mit der Nase bleiben, wir noch sicher da liegen.
Ja,
Oder wie?
also
Ist
Nase
das
wäre
gescheiter?
Might be able to get both of them.
Oder?
Und wenn er vielleicht sogar drüber lässt, ist gut, aber
Ja.
Needs to.
wenn er halt liegt,
Well, I'm not sure she's even looking at that, looking possibly at just the
während
tap, because she hasn't got last stone here. This is her last stone coming.
Well, she could remove both of them though. That will roll right across the top of those yellows and out the side.
Finde ich sympathisch, wirklich.
ich glaube, da mag sie wirklich
She'll
gut
get
hin,
some
ja.
sideways action on that rock.
Dan klemmt vielleicht einen hier.
Ja,
Vielleicht.
probieren wir Nase, ha?
Ja.
Might not even touch the right yellow one. Might go right over top of it.
Ich muss sicher selber dort liegen. Ach,
Just on the nose.
Nase wäre am besten, glaube ich. Ja.
Well, I think even if she hits the high side of it, the left-hand side of it, she'll still make that shot.
Could sit two after this.
So Binja Feltscher, her last stone here in the 6th end. Going for the double takeout.
She's all over the guard.
Really, really narrow on this one.
Horrible shot.
I think we need a hair more because I don't want it to over curl with straight drop.
So after all that discussion,
Yeah,
the implementation was not very good. And now there's an opportunity to draw for
That was
3.
pretty solid, almost back 8, right?
yeah. How
We
quickly
can,
things
not a
can
ton,
change.
but we can move it a couple inches if we
It
need
was
to.
a bad miss by
Yeah,
Feltscher.
yeah,
That was getting close.
It's 3 inches, 2 inches more ice.
So straight draw for 3. Nothing in the way. Clear path to the house and some backing. The only real danger would be a little bit of extra weight, which tapped the
Line's
back
good.
2 of the red stones, one of the one behind,
Gotta go,
into
line up.
4th spot position
Line's
behind one
really
of the
good,
yellow
go
stones of the
hard.
Swiss. So
Full 4, guys, full 4 foot.
this
You
one
got
looks
it.
pretty good if she's got the weight, but they're going to have to sweep it all the way for weight, I think.
Yeah, it looks fine. Well
Oh,
done.
she's good. Perfect. So
Wow.
with that nice draw from Jamie Sinclair in the 6th end
Nice suit, guys.
for a 3-point end,
Oh, okay.
they will go ahead 5 shots to 2 with only two ends remaining.
Yeah. Good end. Up 3, 2 ends to go. In, 1 in. In and through, they're very much a tactic. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, if it's not perfect, we can get rid of it. Yeah.
And with that, we see big 3 here in the 6th end. And, Sinclair taking full control of this game now. You want to see the results of any of the games? Go to worldcurl.com. Like us on Facebook too. Lots of good stuff on there. Lots of tournaments going on this weekend and next. Next weekend with the Glyn Hill ladies
I think that's there.
from Glasgow.
Line's
Week
good.
after that,
6,
the
7,
European part of the World Curling Tour will be in Hamburg.
running a bit. Hoping it's dying down here.
Moscow Classic coming up.
We're just 6.
Open air, the only open air event on the tour from Gorky Park.
Yep. It's there.
Will be
Perfect. Good. Sorry.
quite an interesting venue.
Wait, wait a second. I'm like,
And then, of course, lots of events going on in Canada too, with the slam event in between.
Yep, ça j'ai petit, hein?
All those scores and results all on worldcurl.com.
Sieht gut aus. Gut, schön.
Tipptopp.
Richtig ist gut. Darf noch ein bisschen gehen lassen. Nur fahr nach. Nur fahr nach. Nicht mehr, nicht mehr, nicht mehr. Okay. Gut, schön gespielt.
That freeze needed to come a little more. Get in front of that red one. This should be fairly simply removed here from
Clean. Yep.
Vicky Piersinger.
Yep.
They'll just want to keep it clean. Americans, make sure yellow's
yep,
got
all the way, all the
nothing
way, all
in
the way.
play.
Go, 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 hard! Hard, go! Get out. Wow, thanks for making a turn in when I don't want it.
Wat? Zijn lang hoes. Nog daar. Dan gaan we dahinter. Zie je? Wechseln, aber trotzdem. Wechseln, muss noch curlen. Hinter. Weit hinter. Fest. Ziehen, ziehen, ziehen. Weiter, 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 weiter. Okay. Wat? Tip-top.
I'm not a huge fan of that. They need to get rid of it still.
I think that's easier than this.
I like peeling the corner. They can get 2, they just can't get 3.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
So straightforward, peel. Get rid of that
Whoa,
guard.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Roll out your own rock.
No, 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 no.
Gotta hit it though.
No, come on. Curl.
Ooh, takes out her own at the back, but
Oh, Hope's got both.
that's all right.
It's not bad. Honestly, that's fine. Makes that hit easier. I was just thinking, like, they can have 2.
Yeah. I don't
That's
mind.
right.
Okay.
Opens up the back.
Just wasn't sure.
Yep, I agree.
Darf noch Carla?
So Wang forced to take 1 in the 6th. That gets that score for 7-6. The Chinese over Muirhead from Scotland.
Gut. Schön so.
Christensen finally on the board in the 6th with a score of 1.
Easy, Bill.
Moseva full control of that game with a 3-point lead in the 7th and maintaining the hammer. Coming down to the closing phases of these quarterfinals.
Yep. Yep.
Feltscher has her work cut out for her. She wants to do anything in this game, but I'm afraid her team hasn't been playing that well all game. And,
Ja, 13-7.
I wonder if she might have been better off going aggressive in the early ends and giving her team some draws and settle in with some comfortable shots
Zieh, richtig.
as opposed to trying to play a hit game against Sinclair.
Richtig. Fest, richtig auch. Okay.
Match might have had a different run to it. That guard is of
We hit the one in the
no
rings.
particular use.
Well, it's been quite a strange game because
That has
Yeah,
been.
yeah, yeah.
Feltscher team played
I
quite
knows
poorly
it.
for the first 4 ends, and yet by the 5th they were still tied 2-2 because the opportunities weren't taken by
Yeah.
Sinclair.
Can I get a touch, Lass? It's getting, each
she
rock that we've thrown here is getting a little straight.
Left Binya Feltscher relatively easy shots to save her position,
A little wide.
Yep.
but it all came unstuck in the 6th when Feltscher missed the
Gotta go.
takeout and caught the guard.
Hard. 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 You got it. Hard. Hard. All the way. All
the Sinclair team have managed to keep the play in the house here.
Yeah, doing a good job this end.
Yeah, it felt a little wide, but then I didn't realize that I was.
Tia! Fischer! Oh, Lenny! Oh, Lenny! Tia, richtig! Fest! Fest, richtig! Oh! Sehr schön!
Just hair
Well,
off nose should be fine.
Gut.
Peeled.
quite a nice shot there
I
to
don't
lie
think you can
in
get a
second
hair.
position. Right in the extreme right of the 12-foot circle.
Yeah. Should
And
go.
the Sinclair team going after this. I think they can double
Hit
it
what I
out.
can- hit what I can see.
Yep, as you heard, she's going to hit what she can see.
Good.
Which will double it onto that side red stone of her own. And send the yellow one right across the house and
Guard's
out the
not
back
the
in the
end of the world.
back right hand quartile. That's the aim. Not giving a lot of ice, so big speed, and it certainly is big speed. It's full speed.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa!
Not sweeping it. Needs to curl, I think. Well, she's done it.
Yep, go, 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 go.
Got
Go,
to
go,
pass
go.
the red one up.
Go, 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 go.
Sweeping furiously to end.
It
Try and make sure she
had the right spin on it.
For everything. Good sweep.
nice shot at the back still, which she does.
Dann müssen wir schon noch mal dort raus, aber ich glaube, jetzt müssen wir schon blicken.
Also
Sind wir, glaube ich, da her, oder?
Preis auf den.
Ja.
Ist egal, wenn sie besser ist, sie drauf.
Also ich würde innen
Oder
noch,
innen
wenn, also wenn du innen bist, dann hat sie den Top. Ja. Darum würde ich eher ins Körbchen. Eher ins Körbchen,
Beste
oder?
wäre da.
Ja.
The Feltscher team have last stone here.
Ich würde auch
Now we're
sagen,
talking about freezing into the pocket here.
Was meinst du mit so?
Ja. Ja, ist gut. Also auch wenn er auf dem 6 ist,
They've got to try and work up a 2 somehow out of this
Yeah.
to have any chance of winning the game. With the last stone, they've got to get a 2-pointer in this end. There's only this end and one more remaining.
Warte mal, wenn wir vorne 12 einen vor Rüsen spielen. Ja gut, aber dann haben sie die Möglichkeit, wenn sie wieder doppeln, dann hat sie noch auf ihrem Tour. Ja.
Well, Bernese Feltscher going all the way back down to have another look at this.
Stå då.
Oh,
And it's all-
changing her mind completely.
Nein.
Okay.
Ja gut, wenn er... Ja, ich finde ihn auch gut, ja. Dafür ein paar Rüsen aber, ja.
Okay. Gut.
What do you make of this?
Well, why not go to the other side?
Gut.
I mean,
ja.
if you're gonna hope for a mistake from Sinclair, you go to the other side. If you put it where she's looking at it, she might double out her own and not be able to have a chance to make 2 at all, right? So throw it to the other side.
Lift, ja.
Then you're nowhere near your
You're
own.
nowhere near your own. If Sinclair makes a mistake, you got a fairly simple tap on the red to score 2.
13,5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Bernese Feltscher then, her last stone here.
Wechseln, wechseln. 8 ist gut. Franzi muss, gell?
I beg your pardon.
Wo?
stone here.
Her first, yeah. She's got 2.
Fest!
That's
Fest!
why,
Nog niet, fest, fest, fest! Nog niet! Goed. Sehr
so
schön.
she's lined them up for. Of course, Sinclair has to make the shot.
But she has lined up the double.
Yeah, well, she just doesn't want to jam on the red one and give up 3.
That is right through this, so. Yeah, I don't mind throwing, I like keeping my weight up. Okay? Like, easy peel.
But she doesn't really need to
Firm?
do that. She
Yeah.
can just
Inside out? Yeah. Okay.
hit and roll to the middle a little bit. And
Like close to the same ice. Yeah, I think it'll move a little bit better. Well, I'm trying to catch the hair more, so. Sorry, just looking.
chance for a double here.
Just firm. Yeah, but
She's playing inside out.
quarters
We've
and
noticed
just
this
the hole
week
is
that
fine.
from inside out, takeouts do run fairly straight.
that's what I was thinking too, yeah. So it's the same ice. Just a hair less weight.
So this is Jamie Sinclair's last stone here on the 7th. 1 shot to follow from Feltscher. So as you heard, big weight.
Oh! No.
This needs to curl a bit.
Clean. No. It's fine.
Oh, she just misses it. Wow.
That's fine. Oh, do you see me like clean it
I
out of
think
the
she
12 foot?
just touched that on the way past.
She did.
Yep.
Scared the hell of it anyways.
Komt einfach nachher immer am anderen an, ne?
Yeah, being is,
De vrouw moest je zo zien.
Ja.
yeah. She's got a
Dan moet je dan ook naar, hè?
really tough double that has to keep her shooter in play. I think she has to try it.
Staan niet?
Ja.
You don't want to overthrow this.
Ga wel niet te doppelen, hè. Kom nou iets te blijven. Ik zei er over na zo. En dit spelen ze weer al.
Alright, she's going for a nose hit to take 1.
Dus gaan we zo proberen.
Could throw an out turn at this. That'll stop it from rolling too far.
Als ik eens erin te doen.
I think the problem is, even if you actually make the shot perfectly, you're not guaranteed your shooter's going to count.
No, it'll be tough, but it's got it's still got a fair amount of rolling to do before it
Daar, Fien.
Goes right out.
goes right
Ja, maar
out.
dan kijkt er sowieso sexy.
And you could throw an out turn at it to keep it from
De langste van de nee.
rolling less.
Het spelen is gang niet.
Aber ja, probier's.
I mean out turn meaning the opposite direction, the counterclockwise rotation.
But we've also seen Binya's hitting accuracy today, and it's not high.
Yeah, but she's always capable of making them in the right
Yep.
time. She's been known to do that too. So the thing is, with the in-turn, it'll come off the rock because you're hitting it on the left side. It'll come off the rock and roll further.
Ja. Feest. Feest.
Well, she's just going for
But I
the.
think she's got the nose on this.
Yep.
Het is veel kürzer, hè.
She couldn't overthrow it, so she had to throw down weight. But as it is, that's only 1
Ja, genau.
in the 7th, and that'll give Sinclair a 2-point lead going into the last end with the advantage of the last rock. So a really good position here for Sinclair.
Dice isn't as bad either. Yeah, it's less. Yeah. Right. You get it.
There we see it, 5-3 for the Americans. 2-point lead with the hammer in the 8th. Doesn't get much better than that. I guess it does get much better than that. You could shake hands 6.
Well, it's a relatively comfortable position.
Sure.
Wat?
And so,
Ja, 2 is zo goed.
Feltscher team begin this last end after scoring a point there in the 7th to narrow the score
Goed. Goed zo.
to 5-3. That's what they trail without the last stone here.
Niet op.
Monica Walker. Going for the soft peel. Take shot. Nicely done. Oh, that's a beauty.
Yeah, well played. Of course, you're not allowed to take that stone out of play, otherwise it comes back to where it started. So, getting it to almost out of play, but not quite, is the aim. Nicely achieved there.
Maximum. So blank end in the 7th. Muirhead and Wang. Muirhead down 1 with the hammer in the 8th.
Goed zo. Twee keer even gescoord. Zeg zo nog iets beurden.
What?
Goed. Schön.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll be on again at about
Same
11:15,
thing,
is that right? With a semi-final game. And we'll be posting that as soon as these games are over. We'll post which game we're going to cover.
Easy. Easy. Whoa. Whoa. Nick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Straight, straight, straight.
My guess would be Mozeva
Hard. Hard.
against Muirhead or Wang. Probably the game we're going to cover.
No, sorry. I got a hair. I thought it was a hair less.
Of course, Mozeva still has, she's got a 4-1 lead with the hammer in the 7th, so she's looking comfortable, but they're, you know,
Easy.
curling's a funny game. Sometimes. Right, yeah, another wonderful split here. Now you got to put the guards, if you're the Swiss team, you got to put the guards halfway up the house, or halfway
To the house.
point to the house. You got to get them high enough so that there's a jam possibility on those back ones. You go too close to the house, they're easily peeled. Well, going,
Okay.
I'm not going to steal there.
Goed.
She's got to plug up the middle. I don't know why she's
Don't wanna
going to the
peel it.
side.
But I think you have to roll
Yeah.
through.
I'm just debating between nose and peel it
The only
out.
place you're going to steal is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like straight out.
Not over there, no.
Not over there, no. So Christensen stole 1 in the 7th, so Mozeva also up 2 with the hammer in the 8th.
Big. Clean. Yep. Yep. Good.
Good job. Now what is Beanie going to do? She's going to the corners. She needs some center guards.
Ja, halb in der Garten ist es nicht so schlimm.
Wat?
So, Franziska Kaufmann
Fest is nog goed. Fest.
going to draw around this corner
Fest. Hou.
guard.
Sehr schön. Goed zo.
Pretty good attempt. So Feltscher does not have last stone. You can see this again, just drawing round the corner guard, but she doesn't have last stone, and she's got to try and conjure up a steal of 2, and it's not going to come from corner or shots way out on the 12 foot.
Generally doesn't, no.
It might if there were some more guards around, but since there are no guards in the middle, it's very unlikely. So if we keep pursing her, just going to clear the front stones off here, that do belong to the US, and she has achieved that satisfactorily, removing them both.
Full marks for that one, yeah.
Oder het centerguard. Or het centerguard.
Yeah, center guard would have been better a little earlier when you had all that stuff on the side to possibly jam on, but
Ik heb het centerguard niet.
still need.
Ja, ik naar Bonnie.
Maar daar. Ja. Blijf daar heen en zie. Ja.
Well, she's still going to try and go round the corner guard on the other side.
Dus aan de met die schagal.
Yeah, you got to have a serious mistake from Sinclair with her last rock in order to do that.
So Irene Shorey, having made the draw around the corner guard with her last stone, now being asked to do the same thing on the other side of the house with this one.
She's going to force Sinclair into taking one.
Wie tinderi? Het is goed. Vijf, schimmen.
Schimmen.
Nog meer.
Nog meer.
Nog meer. Goed, schön.
Normal. Lawrence is a little in.
So open for the takeout here from Carlson.
Clean. Just clean. Just clean.
Straightforward shot.
You're good.
She hits it and sticks to live first shot actually over on that side, which
means Beanie is going to have to play takeout on that. At some point.
The one thing that she doesn't seem to have factored in here is that if it goes on like this, Sinclair will have a draw to full 8 foot, maybe 12 foot. Binya's strategy seems to be building in that will not be successful.
Again, I got the opponent right where they want me.
Yeah. Yes.
Super geweest.
So a nice shot, but
Yeah, she was having a hammer. She's got a really nice end set up.
yes.
That's a little bit tighter, Broom, but not much. Clean. Yep.
Sometimes going through the A and winning direct on a Friday and having a day off is not necessarily the best.
A good shot there. Raised takeout. Roll the shooter away as well.
Oh my God, we almost missed that. Yeah, but you gotta hit it. Good. Oh, that was scary. Oh, he had it all day.
I agree. You had it all day.
All day.
So we're down to skip stones now. 4 stones to go in the last end of this quarter-final game here in the International Bernese Ladies Cup.
And we'll be showing you semi-finals and the final today.
At 11:15 Central European Time and at 2:30 this afternoon.
Mannen blijven.
ja! 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 Fest! Fest, kommen! Alles! Alles, alles!
There, she's
Okay.
set up the double.
Okay, gut.
This is good. That's really nice. I like keeping it firm.
Looks me.
Yep. Same thing.
Yeah,
I really
well,
good
she prefers the
about that.
hit a little roll to freeze onto the
Yeah. What was Vicky's peel?
yellow Swiss
I think
stone.
you had like that
Needs
for
to
her
hit
peel,
that
right?
yellow
Yeah, but
Swiss
not
stone
the
on the
peel.
inside,
Right.
and
So I
that'll
think
push
that's
out
fine.
the
I think that's good.
other one to the right.
Yep. And that will be it, I would think.
Yeah, that would be it. Well, there is a there is a split on the top two yellow ones that you could play in. You got to roll both the top,
I got some
your
air on
shooter
the
and
inside, too.
the top one into the house after
Looking
you
f-
bounce off the yellow.
Looking forward to that shot.
Yeah. That's really grasping at straws, though, I think.
So, Jamie Sinclair just going for the little gap between these stones, which will bump the one on the left out of play as well. Big weight. We've got the brushes on it.
Oh, clean, clean.
Sounds good.
Clean. That's not you. That's not me.
There you go.
Ah, perfectly executed to lie one.
Nice game.
And that is it.
Nice game.
Oh, they're going to shake hands. Not even going to try that.
So, Jamie Sinclair will make it through to the semi-final with her US team. Binya Feltscher goes out in the quarter-final stage.
Not a great game from the
Yeah.
Swiss.
Knows-
Certainly
knows
expected
it
a little
better.
more. Coming out a little flat, and
That's good. So.
I don't think they gave themselves a chance. They had two ends they wasted at the beginning of the game. I think that kind of cost them a bit. Certainly didn't get them on a roll anyways.
That's right. So the final score in this game, 6 shots to 3, without that last end being completed. 5 shots to 3.
Right.
There we have the score authenticated on the screen for you. 5 shots to 3 for Sinclair over Feltscher, who did start with the last stone advantage in the first end. Made nothing of it whatsoever and then gave up a 2. So
Well, results of the other quarterfinals. WorldCurl.com. And this production in cooperation with World Curling Federation, World Curl TV, and World Curling Tour.
we can show you some of the highlight shots in this game. In the third end then, after 2 blanks, Binya Feltscher hoping to pick up 2, but in fact it would be Jamie Sinclair that does precisely that.
With that steal.
Steal of 2 by the US team, and here in the fourth end, it's a single pointer for
Then you will be forced to draw down to the back of the
Yep.
4 foot. Fifth got quite messy. There were some good opportunities there for Sinclair to make some points. It just rolls too far for her. After a measure, it was only 1 yellow. And into the 6th. Quite a few more misses here. Sinclair, especially the last one from Benia's, had an open hit or almost open hit to double out the 2 red ones. Misses it. Sinclair makes 3. Feltscher forced to take one. And after that, it was just running the Swiss team out of rocks. Swiss not getting any center guards up. Two super soft peels from Monica Walker. And with that, we have Sidorova and Sinclair in the semifinals. Moseva, we can now also say, is in the semifinals. They defeat Christensen 4-2, so I think now we got just waiting for the result of Muirhead and Wang. They're down to their last rocks. So we'll say goodbye for now. We're on again at 11:15, and we will probably be showing Moseva against the winner of the Muirhead-Wang game. If you want to check the results or check on our YouTube channel to see who's playing against who and who we're going to feature. Hope you enjoyed this coverage, and we'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Richard.